And welcome in, Gyms and Gymists, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston. This is episode 31 on the agenda. And yes, it may have been a tease, but preseason football was, at least for us, satisfactory at the very least. Am I right? Like I said, it was hard. My squad got a dub. Your squad got a dub.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty good over here. We're liking it, but like I said, just a tease. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's give us the Lombardi right now. I mean, might as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw enough.
We're clocking. We both loved it. We'll get to that much more. Thank you as always for tuning in to No Substitute for Sports on the Degenerates Network YouTube page. If you just stumbled upon us, hit that subscribe button, but only after you hit the like button. And maybe share us around. Tell your friends. Tell your pizza delivery guy when you undertip them by accident. Yeah, sure. I know times are tough, but you got to do what you got to do. You can follow us on Twitter at Degenerates, and every Friday, 1 p.m. Central, I go live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy on No Substitute for Sports, for No Substitute for Sports Live, cleaning up anything we don't get to here, anything breaking news wise, and much, much more. Either way, check us out anywhere and everywhere. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Plenty to talk about here today, as always. Like I mentioned, the top preseason NFL took everything by storm. Somewhat. Well, we'll hit the preseason highlights and other NFL news from this week. Our NFL divisional preview continues as well, with the AFC West to be broken down. I will do that and much, much more. The best bets, important games, MVP odds, and tons more to preview there. Well, the White Sox aren't under the microscope this week, depending on who you ask. But it's the Rays, especially more specifically Wander Franco. Yikes! Thoughts on recent accusations? Everything still under investigation with him being with a minor, apparently. Finally, a quick wrestling debate: Triple H off the board of directors after merger, and CM Punk the bully. All that, tons more in between. But before we get underway, let me introduce to you my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO of FatCat_streams. And that's with a Z. You might be finding some more Madden content coming up soon on that on that channel. I know you just gonna be enjoying that. Mikey J Fat Cat, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here, and ready to get going as always. Yeah. We're Madden content will be coming soon. The TPL, the People's League, new Madden just came out. We'll be back. I've got the Vikings as my team, so I'm ready to
go.
Yeah.
That's the only time we're gonna be doing that.
You'll never see me do that again. But that'll be fun. But how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Had some good news coming in from the school and all that fun stuff. But most importantly, honestly, I was just been thinking about fantasy. We got our draft coming up this weekend. We actually got a big old week coming up, big old weekend. We got I don't know what you're doing. I mean, obviously Friday, always going live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy. Always check us out there. Saturday, right? Tony Hinchcliffe over at the Chicago Theater. So that'll be fun to go check out.
Oh,
haven't been there for any sort of show. I've heard it, obviously, the very historical theater, and Tony Hinchcliffe, funny guy. You're gonna enjoy get some ha-has. The next day will be our draft, chilling with the boys, all gathering together as we do in person. That's like you said before, out of nowhere. Our friend group is every which way, but we'll always come together when it comes for the draft. So I love that. I love that about us.
Yeah. And I mean, really, and to a lot of people, like, kind of is a hassle to plan sometimes drafts with getting everyone together. But I feel like with us, it's just, I sent a couple messages in the chat, tagged everyone, everyone liked it and was like, we're there. So
obviously it takes, sometimes what's the famous saying, like, oh, it takes, 5 people all agreeing on dinner at the same time is a hassle. No, this was probably one of the easiest things when we're all probably looking forward to it every single year. I think it's
everyone has the same mindset.
Big highlight of the year. So shout out to our these nuts, however you want to pronounce it, because we only use one E.
These nuts.
Yeah, shout out to these nuts league. Besides that, and then actually, like I said, we'll be spoiler alert, secret time or whatever, how you want to say it, going to be not coming out on our usual day next week. Going to go an extra day. My girlfriend and I, our anniversary is on the actual day that we usually record. So going to take a break. That's the only time we're going to do that for you. So otherwise, back to a regular scheduled programming. So big week, big weekend, big everything coming up. So I cannot wait. So it's just been, like I said, drafting, prepping, and just listening to fantasy and reading up on fantasy. I'll be taking the time afterward on this. It's full disclosure to you. I'm going to be doing my prep most likely tonight and the rest of the week. So there you go.
Yeah, I've been it's that time when you start listening like the Fantasy Footballers podcast again, and they talk about how they just like spike up in viewers around this time.
Yeah,
they're like one of the most viewed sports podcasts right now. So that's cool. It's like they were just bragging on their episode today. They're like, I expected that, but it's just fucking around. But
it is always funny because they around the same thing. They kind of not brag, but they like trying to latch on, like, hey guys, we do this all year round, so don't just come when you need us. Just stick around all year long, because they probably listening to a fantasy podcast outside of the usual 18, 19 weeks. I don't know there's not much to talk about unless you're in a dynasty league, unless you're in unless one of those keeper leagues. So I get you. It's tough. It's tough to keep viewers.
Definitely a lot less content, to have. But yeah, I mean, this is their peak time right now. So yeah, this is
Absolutely.
Fantasy football, man. Yeah, I'm getting ready.
Is draft season.
We're all getting ready.
Yeah, I mean, this is draft time around these next couple of weeks. Everyone always does that. Oh yeah, like I said, plenty to get to, plenty to talk about today. We'll be light and quick on these appetizers. Like I said, just want to slide through them, maybe do a cha-cha slide through them. But RIP to DJ Casper. Did you hear about this? Unfortunately, the guy that did the cha-cha slide, the DJ Casper.
I did see that.
Unfortunately, passed away I think about a week ago. I'm a little late on it, but are you cool with a dead guy telling you what to do at weddings / school dances?
Slide to the left. All right. Don't think about it.
Everybody. I'm sorry. It's very that's ignorant.
But yeah, R.I.P. to him, man. That song that song is played at like every gathering.
Every large gathering. Yeah, absolutely.
It's iconic.
Even ironically, at EDM festivals, they're gonna be slide left and just clapping your hands and shit like that. Yeah, you're gonna hear it all the time.
Even integrate that into some of their songs. Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, it's legendary, obviously. So it's always upsetting, but RIP to DJ Casper, the cha-cha slide guy. On lighter side of things, just because so it could be a little bit easier. I don't know if this is not going to affect your daily. I don't know if you absorb the content. I just thought it was cool. Dave Portnoy bought back Barstool for $1. Like I said, a little late on it, but pretty interesting because he sold it originally for $550 million.
How do you get it back for $1?
So from my understanding, Penn Gaming, the company that had bought Barstool from Dave Portnoy and everybody else, they were going to get absorbed and be bought by Disney, but Disney wanted absolutely nothing to do with Dave Portnoy. So, them just wanting to kind of get, because Penn Gaming.
So they were going to get money from Disney.
Yeah, regardless. they took the Disney money. Simply just wanted to get Barstool off of their books, and for $1, that's gonna be it's Dave Portnoy's. I think the only thing in their clause is if Dave Portnoy ever sells Barstool again, they get half of the profits. They get half of what it is, but he said he's gonna keep it till he dies, and I believe him. So,
wow,
that's damn. I mean,
that's
one of the coolest things. Very greasy indeed. I mean, they're doing pretty well right now. I think some of their big content people just officially moved to Chicago. They're gonna make a big deal about doing the Chicago office. I'm sure eventually they'll move to a Boston office. and or a Miami office, because that's where Dave lives and shit like that. It's gonna keep expanding, which is pretty cool considering, I'm in media school and want to get into something like that. So
Yeah.
if they're gonna get back on the radio side of things, there you go, bang, shit like that. That's what we're prepping for. Like I said, I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like I said, he probably a very intimidating boss, just watching the content and everything. But that's pretty cool. That just he's a very stand up guy. So they're gonna be one of the most free flowing content creators slash just websites out there, because there's no one's gonna be holding them back. It's just gonna be Dave. Everything's gonna be up to Dave's discretion, and he probably for the most part doesn't give a fuck. So
Yeah.
seems pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool boss.
Yeah, which is good.
$1. What a steal. What a steal. Steal of the century. I mean, it's good on both ends. Like I said, not to keep harping on it, because like you
Yeah, they
just said,
get them off the books and he gets it back.
they get
And they
get
still
the
get
Disney
money.
Yeah, they get the Disney money. So they're paid. Everyone's paid up for. Dave gets the company back. No one's losing their job. So yeah, there you
It
go.
works for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave just wants page views. That's all he wants. His page views equals money. Finally, we could have maybe absorbed this into the NFL, but it's a good transition anyways. This whole Michael Oher situation. Have you heard about this, seen about this, read up on this at
I
all?
have seen it, yeah.
Okay. Uh, I'm not too involved. I mean, I think just passing by and hearing everything, he's just claiming that they didn't really adopt him at the beginning. That the whole movie was a lie in general. You laid one on me right before we started recording, and I don't know if you want to break this, but you haven't seen The Blind Side. Is that true? Is that my source is correct?
Yeah, I've never seen The Blind Side. I've never really seen honestly it's a lot of sports movies, but yeah, I've sadly never seen The Blind Side, so I don't have too much input on the movie itself, but I did see the story, so I can kind of get the gist of
Yeah.
the idea.
No, it's that one isn't. I wouldn't yell at you for that one. It's a good story. It's a fun little story, but they always, a lot of people will like it's very dramatized in other sort of ways. I just thought it was very funny that people were like, it's Sandra Bullock needs to give back her Oscar for this because it's a lie and everything about that. And other people are on the flip side. They're like, no, it was such a good performance. She made you believe the lie, so she deserves to keep her Oscar. It's just I don't know.
That's I'm on that
Two
side,
side,
yeah.
yeah, you can be on either side. I'm completely fine either way. It's not like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
not
I
gonna
don't.
take that away from
Yeah,
her.
I haven't seen the movie probably since it came out, and I was it came out in mid 2000s, so probably 10, 11 years old or whatever. I don't know. Just yeah, I just thought the one part you're probably gonna love and think is really funny, and again, most likely didn't happen. Now that we're hearing it's an entire lie. Sandra Bullock's character shows Michael Oher around. He's like, "Hey, like this is your room." He's like, "I've never seen this before." He's like, "What? A room?" And he goes, "A bed." You've seen a bed before? Like, no way, you haven't seen a bed before. Like, no, get out of here. Fuck you.
Oh
so
my.
so I mean, that's one of those supposed to like hit you in the heart, like, oh my god, it's so unfortunate. Like, but no, like you've seen a bed before. Uh
So he was
uh
never actually their son.
yeah, I think that was the whole thing. And either from the movie or from, I don't know, just getting incentives from other people, he got cooked out of some money being younger. I'm not entirely sure. I hope, get your money, pal. That's all I hope for you. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a liar on it. I really don't care either way. It's it's Ole Miss football, or so. I just, again, just thought, it was like, when I heard it, the only thing I thought was like, what, Southern white people screwing over a black person? Like, what? What? When does that happen? That don't what?
Oh,
No.
it's shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking. Find me 10 examples. You can't do that.
I watched Django Unchained.
Find me 20 more. uh Oh Jesus, yeah. So that was one of the big hullabaloos and how you do's for these appetizers. Like I said, maybe a good transition into football in general. You got anything on this Michael Oher situation?
Um, like you said, I just hope that, I hope he gets his money, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah,
fucked him
exactly.
over like that and he didn't get what he deserves, then fuck him.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. She looks very Paula Deanish. Like, I don't know why you would trust her in any sort of way. She looks like she hard R'd you.
They were family, man.
Yeah, I mean, family.
Family,
Yeah, when you're
family,
family, you're
family.
family. I mean, again, if we keep saying family, Olive Garden's gonna pop up. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Free
Ah,
breadsticks, though.
me like eat breadstick. Uh, yeah, Michael Orr. Hope you get your money, pal. Figure it out for yourself. Good transition into some NFL. Like you said at the top of the hour, a little bit of teasing, but it was the preseason. As my dog barks. It was fun. It was
Whoa, whoa,
cool.
whoa.
Oh wow, wow, wow. I don't care about the air yardage. Fields went 3 for 3, 129, and 2 touchdowns. That's a good day for me. Everyone gets off the field, nice and easy peasy. Nice, beautiful day. DJ Moore gets involved. Khalil Herbert gets involved. Someone else caught a pass, but it wasn't for a touchdown. So Bears had a nice day all around, just getting used to things. I didn't catch a lot of the game. Unfortunately, I had to go work. I fell back on a lot of my work because for the first time ever, don't want to focus too much on me. My back went out, and
Oh,
God, that was awful, paralyzing. Like I literally could not get out of bed at a certain point. I did when I did get up. I did took 2 steps and took a fall to the knee and made a little bitch mo like,
oh my
oh God,
God.
why me? Oh God. And then got up and then took 2 more steps and just like was in more pain. So I was just yeah.
Yeah, not
uh
good.
not good, not good, but we're better now. Ice and Bear back and body. That's shout out to them. Not a sponsor yet, but they helped me out. They were awesome.
That's
Either
good
way,
to hear. Glad
I'm
you're
sure
all
they I'm
good.
sure they also helped some other players on the field get help and everything. But what were you able to catch up? I know you were able to enjoy some Packers football. That was Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah, Friday, yeah.
Okay, yeah. How'd they pan out? How was Jordan Love looking?
Oh, I mean, he only played 2 drives, but I liked what I saw. I have 7 for 10, 100+ yards, touchdown to Romeo Dobbs. I can already, I mean, I can just tell that he's going to be a more accurate passer than more like not he's not going to be running. Like it's like I could tell that his upside is going to be that he can get passes where they need to be, it seems like, but it might be a problem if he has to throw on the run or if he has to like run like so. I still haven't seen too much of that, but again, it was only one preseason game, but I've also seen clips of him and when he's come in the Packers opposite from some other seasons, but
At the very least, it could have been worse. So I mean, it's like you said, it was good for what it was. What from what you saw.
it
That's
just I'm just excited for the season to start. See how he does. He had some backup quarterback play the rest of the game. I think Sean Clifford, I think his name was, and he was cooking them up. He threw a couple interceptions, but they still won like 36-19, something like that. So it was fun. I mean, it's only preseason, but it's always nice to get a win like that. And all the rookies and stuff looking decent and showing out. So it was a fun little preseason game to watch for sure.
I think yeah. Don't like you said, Romeo Dobbs might be a good little connection for at least just to help him out during his time there. The only thing that stuck out to me when I was looking over scores and looking over stats and just box score stuff, did AJ Dillon start? Did he? Because he got about 4 rushes for not so many yards. I just wondered, was he just got the first maybe just the first drive or two maybe?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. I assume that he was probably in for around the first quarter and then didn't play anymore after
Okay.
that.
Yeah, because I like I said, I didn't see. I only caught what I saw in the box score, and I'm like, wow, I was surprised he even played to begin with. So maybe just they
Yeah.
needed some bodies playing halfback just to get someone going. Obviously, Aaron Jones isn't gonna play the veteran
No.
with so much money on his head. You're not gonna risk that in the first preseason game. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was about it. No, I mean that's all I had on the Packers too. So.
And you're ready for the Bears, right?
I like the Bears. I like what I saw. I like what I like. Obviously, I don't want to jump the gun. I'm just glad at the very least everything came away and what they wanted to do. They they looked good for the most part. Obviously, you're not gonna sit here and as much as we want to and then crown them, give them the Lombardi and everything, but it was nice just seeing that they were able to get through things. Saw a lot of Khalil Herbert during the first reps, so that was cool. Not a lot of Deontay Foreman, excuse me. Nice to see DJ Moore. Nice to
Yeah,
see.
scoring a touchdown on his very first play as a Bear.
Promising, very promising. And of course, the t-shirts are going to run wild. 1 + 2 = 6. That's going to be nice little thing. Maybe I have to snag one of those. Again, it's like that. It's good that there's confidence. I've heard from just camp and everything preseason stuff that he's had good days, he's had okay days, he's had some bad days. So just get the confidence, get going. There's still you don't want to rely on Fields running all the time, but just get them going. Obviously, there's so many. I already talked about. There's so many options for the Bears, and again, and they're big, and they're all big. Like Cole Kmet is humongous compared to these guys, compared to these younger guys. And Tunyon, he's 2'6". I'm pretty sure they're both at least 6'5", 6'6", if I'm not mistaken. So
Holy
we're gonna
fuck.
have we have two twin towers on both sides, if not on the same side. We're gonna have Claypool, who's like 6'4", 6'5". DJ Moore, again, pretty big boy. So I'm liking it. I enjoyed what we saw. PJ Walker, I guess that was the only downside. But I also like that there was some big follower, some big analyst that's like, oh, Justin Fields picked off, and it was clearly PJ Walker, like wearing number 15.
Yeah,
Like
that was
all the big
hilarious.
retweets were like, is someone gonna tell him? No.
Like, how can you be that fucking dumb?
Yeah, honestly. It's funny. Yeah, the internet's reigning supreme. So again, don't want to overreact preseason, but again, just nice to see that they were able to get the reps in and look good. So, but nothing too crazy on either side. I'm trying to think, at least maybe some rookie debuts or anything. Did you see the Saints? There was a Saints QB that led a comeback, but he was hassled by the security on the way in and on the way out of
No.
oh Jesus, I don't have it ready, but I thought it was so funny that one of the Saints quarterbacks led not only did he led the game winning drive, but yes, they thought he was a fan on the way in, I believe, and then again on the way out after he just led a game winning drive is again he's like, hey, what are
What,
you
they wouldn't let
doing?
him leave? Like, what?
No, I don't think they wouldn't let him leave, but there was something. Oh, geez, Louise. Let me at least get his name right. I'm pulling up the box score right now. Uh, I guess Jake Hayner. Oh, it has to. I don't know. Is it this guy? I don't know. There was a story like that for sure. Someone let it come back. I thought I thought it was a different name. Oopsie poopsie. Sorry, long day, but uh, yeah. I just thought that was a very funny story. Leads a comeback and he's hassled on the way in and the way out. Was there anything from maybe does CJ Stroud and the Texans do anything cool? I did. That was very early Thursday. Yeah, CJ Stroud goes 2 for 14, 13 yards and an interception. Yikes.
Oh,
Good.
they did announce, I think Texans said CJ Stroud's the starter. The
Yeah.
Panthers said Bryce Young starting, and the
Yeah.
Colts said today Anthony Richardson is their starter. So
All makes sense to me. All makes sense to me on that one. You draft them there for a reason. But I mean, the Patriots are tough. You probably got their number ones out there, so it's not the it's a good welcome to the league moment, I suppose, but not the best confidence booster right there. I know Quentin Johnston had a shout out to the Johnsons.
yeah, he had a touchdown.
There you go, and a nice little touchdown.
I love
I
him.
enjoyed
He's gonna
that.
be good.
I hope so. Just for this, just for our namesake, just for our namesake. Uh,
It's
he,
awesome. Yeah, I saw that video. I was like, yeah, it's great. Like Nick could get a jersey and
I can be like, that's my brother. That's him. That's him. He's
Oh
out
my
there.
god.
Uh I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to look around for these names, but there's about it. I'm trying to think of some other big performances or just some big highlights, but didn't really
Yeah,
catch a ton from everything else. I know I think Trevor Lawrence threw a pick on one of the first drives, so that wasn't very promising again, considering all the options and all the weapons he has there. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, in I guess in a revenge game against the Niners, the Raiders blow out the Niners 34-7.
damn.
So yeah, that was a big highlight on my end. Let me see here. Anything else preseason wise that caught your eye?
Not too much. Yeah. I think you got pretty much got about all the highlights there.
There we go. I talked about Hard Knocks on the Friday show, but what were your takeaways from it? I don't always want to get your thoughts from on this stuff.
Well, I mean, of course, I love it. I'm Aaron Rodgers, seeing him, all the Jets players and stuff. I mean, yeah, I thought it was great. Anything football related around this time, I'll eat it all up. So, uh, I I love that, like the them breaking down, like just I just love how they do Hard Knocks. They show their practices and then their preseason games and all the stuff like that, and just showing the players interactions, and it's great. It's If you've never seen Hard Knocks and you're a football fan, you gotta check it out for sure. It's looking forward to the next episode, and yeah, it's just great TV.
It was a fun open. Obviously, they go out, they kind of open with all the talking heads and all the shows. Like, what is Aaron Rodgers doing? I'm not going to subscribe to that Aaron Rodgers is a Jet until he has the jersey on. Just shit like that from all the Fox Sports One shows and all that bullshit. And then they cut to, finally Aaron Rodgers is there. He walking onto the practice field. They're chanting his name. They're giving all the love and all the praise. And then from there, it's just what I was described to as just Jets porn. It's just late fire pass, accurate pass into the person right into their hands. Or when they were doing the drills and they were just red and they threw it right into the red pocket, blue pocket, and back and forth, back and forth. My only question to you off the top is just: are we gonna get? Do you think we're getting an authentic Aaron Rodgers 100% of the time, or just when the cameras are on? I don't know. What are we getting from him? Do you feel like he's playing a character in some way sometimes, or is he just,
No.
okay? Okay. I feel
I
like for
I
okay,
don't know.
no, go ahead.
Maybe I feel like everyone might act a little different with a camera on them, but for the
Fair,
most part, I feel like we're
fair,
getting what Aaron Rodgers is. And then you
fair.
hear the players say it in the episode. They're like, Aaron
Oh, they're
Rodgers.
ecstatic that he's here. They love that he's there. I mean, for
I
a
mean,
good
no
reason.
one's talking shit about him or anything. And like,
No,
there's that one guy on the
pulls down the
defense that
boom
was
like,
like,
yeah,
whatever they say about Aaron Rodgers is a lie.
yeah.
And they just show him like cooking people up in practice. Then
That just shows how good of a manipulator he is. Right away, he gets you. He's slipping some of that shit into their food. He even said he's like, make sure you guys go around. Make sure you're not sitting around at the same table each time. He's drugging all of them. He's tricking them. You heard it here first. I guarantee it. Sorry, no, that's probably not true.
I
Allegedly.
think his name just gets dragged through the mud, and then there is finally a chance for people to see who like he actually is. I don't because you never really Aaron Rodgers is not a big guy and like doing that kind of stuff, I feel like for the most part. So this is interesting to finally see him and like just how he is with everybody. And yeah, like you're saying, you've been like saying everyone sit at different tables, you can meet your teammates and and create like relationships. It's like it's cool. I mean, he seems like a great person. I don't seems like the kind of person that I would want to be my quarterback. So
That's why I had the question also of like what are these Hard Knocks cameras any more distracting than what else happened like during those practices? Like Method Man was at practice, Legends and all the owner was at a practice. Like what's the difference than all these other 100 cameras over to the left, and it's just this Hard Knocks camera is the big old distraction. He even said it himself when the narrator came in. That was one of his first questions. Is like, why doesn't anybody want to do this? He's like, it's a distraction, I guess. But like you said, this gives him the opportunity to, actually come up face. And, I hate to admit it, I don't hate him. Like he's coming off like pretty decent, and like whether he's playing it up for the camera or whether he's just like you said, like I just said, like he's a good enough entertainer to play it up for the camera, or whether we getting a raw, authentic Aaron Rodgers. I don't hate the guy. And again, maybe it's just because maybe he's got a Jets jersey on and not a Packers jersey on anymore. I maybe it's just that too. So again, these HBO guys, they put all of them in a good light. And I also enjoyed. Obviously, I'm not going to stray away from the Aaron Rodgers stuff, but they made Sauce Gardner look great. They made excuse me, Garrett Wilson look amazing. And like I said on the Friday show, like them, that's scary that they're going to go one-on-one in practice every single day. Every play, they will make each other better, and potentially, the Jets might have the best DBs in the league, and Garrett Wilson he's huge potential to step up, especially now with Aaron Rodgers in the league, so on his team. So it's crazy that they're going to be one-on-one every single time. And like you said, he gets them sometimes and he gets them the other time. So it's going to be about 50-50. That really juiced me up. Like the first goes when they were just going full go in practice, like that gave me that little nostalgia feel going back in time and doing that exact feel. Just like, yeah, you want the offense to win or you want the defensive side to win. It's just awesome. But you don't, obviously, it's still your team. You want to be respectful. So, God, yeah, like you said, this show is just so much fun. I brings you back to a good nostalgia feel if you played the game or whether or not just enjoying it. Yeah, it was awesome. It was tons of fun watching this episode. And I mean, as we speak, the other episode's probably coming on later. So hopefully by the time we're done, it'll be on Max. I can replay it and watch it back or some whatever.
Yes, sir.
Awesome possum. Any other thoughts? Oh, I got one more, but any other thoughts on there?
I mean, yeah, it was cool seeing the narrator of the show show up in the helicopter. I don't know why it's a helicopter. That was so random.
He
But
said he wanted to do it some other way, but probably just for safety reasons, they did a helicopter. I don't know.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers wanted to meet him, so that was cool. And yeah, seeing just Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson getting to learn more about them and everything. And yeah, I mean, again, everything that we said, it's just great.
I love my last one. Again, I brought it up on the Friday show. I'll also be reviewing the Friday show every week too, just because so much it's worth it. When they're bringing up a charcuterie board, and he says, "I'm gonna eat that coochie board." He's like, "No, charcuterie, it's charcuterie." I was laughing my ass off. That's gonna be one of those very underrated Hard Knocks moments for sure. So without a doubt, I think kind of hit the high spots for sure. Like I said, and yeah, you were right. Aaron Rodgers called that play for Zach Wilson. I thought you were just trying to take it away and be funny, but no, he legitimately called that play. He said throw it to him, and he did. And it still was a pretty shitty pass because he had to lay out as bad as he did.
Throw it to Malik.
Oh my God. And then Zach Wilson, God bless his heart. He's gonna try as hard as he can. He knows he's out of a job. It's so bad. But he's like trying to sit there and trying to describe the play as it happened. He was just so excited that he actually made a good play. It was just very like, good job. We know what happened. We saw it. You don't need to lie. We saw what happened.
I mean, like it's a tough situation for him to be in,
without a doubt.
But yeah, I mean, respect to him for sticking with it and just taking that bench role, because I mean, sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, no, at the very least, if he can just go from not being the worst, if he can just be a bus driver, and at this point, again, we'll get to it. Basically, one of the next stories I got right here is the running backs signing to, Dalvin Cook officially signing with the Jets yesterday. If he can just hand the ball off successfully to Dalvin Cook and make sure it's okay, that's going to be fine. If he can just make slant plays to Garrett Wilson and Tyler Conklin, for Christ's sake, he'll be just fine. It'll be just plays like that. So yeah, that was one of the big moves. Obviously, Dalvin Cook officially signing. Was it like $8 million?
You got a shitload of money.
You got a big contract for a year, especially like we said with the whole running back situation.
If you're Breece Hall, I mean, I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be a similar. I mean, he's still coming back from the ACL injury, and I mean, also Michael Carter. I not to vouch on. I mean, he had a pretty decent year last year if you paid attention to fantasy. But
I mean, yeah, fantasy wise, it's like if I was Breece Hall, I'd be pissed. But regardless, this is going to be great for their team. Dalvin Cook is a great player, and he'll definitely. I mean, their offense is disgusting. Like the Jets, they have.
I heard the label "Dream Team" being thrown around. There's potential. There is potential. It's everyone things got to blend together, but at this point, maybe the win totals have changed, but you gotta hopefully you took that 9.5 or 8 or 8.5, 9.5. It's gonna skyrocket now.
Yeah, I mean,
but the only thing that didn't
they're
change.
Just so good.
Yeah, I mean, between that, also breaking the seal too. I don't know if you had a background set, but Patriots signing Ezekiel Elliott for a year as well, X amount of money. But neither of the odds changed on either of these teams Super Bowl wise. Didn't go up or down for after these signings. So the odds makers, they oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm looking at that.
It's a horrible Photoshop.
That is such an awful Photoshop.
Blame Sports Keto, whatever this website is.
That is so bad. Looks like they made it in kids pics. You remember that game?
This was the first picture that popped up.
Oh, that's so funny. I think he's wearing like 15. Either way, that's good. Good.
Oh
Damn,
God,
what a shit job
by
that guy. Sorry, that threw me off so bad. Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots. Both of them, honestly, kind of cook both fantasy wise. This is what the big story is, honestly. If you were going to rely on Ramondre Stevenson for something like that was even one of the bets I gave out. I was like, I think it was any Patriots player to get 10 plus rushing or receiving touchdowns, and Ramondre Stevenson was the name that I kept throwing out. And now that's probably not going to be the thing. It could go to Zeke. He had
12, I think, last season.
I think he had. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he had 12 rushing touchdowns last year, and it was on like a stretch of like 8 or 9 games or whatever. But he still got the job done. He was the goal line guy, and that might be what the problem was for Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know. Bill Belichick. I don't know. I guess he's not very trusting of whatever. So get the vets in. It might screw some people over fantasy wise, might individuals on their stats and whatnot, and just trying to get, I guess, a sleeper in your fantasy drafts. Like I just said, that's coming up for us this week.
So excited.
What I mean, just watching, like, again, the Jets, to me, that still, if it wasn't already for some, should now become must-watch television again. Like every week, probably should be paying attention to the Jets. I don't know. At least I would be.
They're going to be one of the best teams for sure.
Again, whether you want to hate watch them or actually enjoy them, you get to be like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers, cookie, he's stupid, he sucks. And oh yeah, I told you it wasn't going to work. Or it's like, oh man, this is fun watching a good offense. It's just fun watching good football. I don't know. And they're gonna have a really solid defense too. I feel like the defense always get overlooked.
I mean, yeah, they were very good last year. And yeah, I mean, again, I guess the one thing was the quarterback, and now they've added that, and they've just added so many more things.
Yeah.
So
I think the only question was from just listening to shows and listening to other podcasts, just their offensive line, it seems to always come into question. So whether it's them staying healthy or them just, be just coming up to expectation, that might come into play. So the offensive line, hopefully they're all set. I couldn't name you. It is, I think, Nixon. I'm not even gonna try.
got to protect AR8 now. Yeah, I was gonna.
There you go. There he is. Final NFL story to get to before we hit our divisional preview. Henry Ruggs gets sentenced to 3 to 10 years for that drive for the DUI that led to.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean,
3 years.
3 to 10 is what I mean. At good behavior, it'll probably be 3, and at the very least, probably just get like an ankle monitor and just get house arrest. It's. You got to look at it through. I'm not gonna stick up for it. It's a bad look. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked. It's fucked anyway. It's fucked through any lens, any angle you want to look through it. So
he killed a woman and her dog, right?
Yeah.
Like, what
and
the
again,
fuck?
going 140, and yeah, it's. Yeah, just thinking about it. It's very unfortunate. It's just everything. It's very upsetting, and yeah. I'm at a loss for words because I wish I better prepared for it, but I also just don't want to be on like the say the wrong thing and offend any which way. But it's a tough look, and again, whether 3-10 years, what's going to be enough for anybody? I don't know. He's still going to forever live with the idea. His career's basically virtually over with. So what else more can you really take from him? I don't know. You can look through it like that, but again, it's I hopefully it's not like, again, I'm not trying to stick up for anybody in this situation. It's just it sucks. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
That was our final stories. And I wish, like I said, any final thoughts before we head into our AFC West divisional breakdown?
No, I think I'm ready to jump in there.
Awesome. Like we usually do, AFC West, the breakdown, as like I said, as it usually goes, hit the headlines, questions of the year, notable games, big ad drops, MVP odds, team total over under. We'll get our justification there. Division winners, justifications there as well. And then at least 1 or 2 more props for each and every squad. Oh, I wish I had one more, but that's okay. I don't have enough for the Chiefs. It don't matter. Well, maybe I'll find one while I'm scrolling through. Either way, let's hit it from the top with our questions and just setting it up from last year. AFC West consists of the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. Chiefs, simply for me, repeat time, Super Bowl hangover. Which one is it going to be? Maybe in the middle. Is there any chance? I'm sure, definitely, with having Patrick Mahomes and still having Travis Kelce and Richie James and Kadarius Toney. I think they lost. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, he's on Patriots.
Yeah, he's on the Patriots, meow. But, as we've come to see, Patrick Mahomes makes the wide receiver, not the other way around. So it's still going to be pretty satisfactory there, but very much still going to be in contention as long as everyone stays healthy. You can say that about any team, just about, but especially for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they come out strong. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure they're favored odds wise, and basically in every single game this year. Wouldn't put past it. So repeat possible. It's definitely up in the cards.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's not, it wouldn't, again, they're the main favorite at plus 600. They are the number 1 favorite. Patrick Mahomes is the number 1 favorite to be MVP odds and all that fun jazz. Again, we'll get to that. Spoiler. But
Mahomes has entered that range where it's like where Rodgers was, where it's like the game's never over. Like when you have Patrick Mahomes, like there could literally be 30 seconds left and they can still win the game.
I mean,
Like
as we've seen, 13 seconds, and they were able to at least tie the game. So
yeah,
crazy enough. It's Broncos. He is must watch television. And again, like when I get to the notable games and what we're gonna watch and what you should watch throughout the year. Like, I mean, it goes without saying that every single Kansas City Chief game, even the one against the Raiders, is gonna be much must watch television. Like, it just has to be. You're gonna want to watch Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna want to see what this offense does every single week. Like, it's just with hands down. It's whether you're watching for fantasy purposes or not. Like, don't care. It's going to be fun watching this team.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of the Chiefs on Red Zone Sundays.
I think so. I think that's exactly what it'll be. And if not, I mean, again, probably a majority of their games are probably on prime time. It's probably
that's true. Yeah.
Let me see. Broncos. I got them up next. Can they meet? My question simply was, can they meet half of what the expectations that were set for them last year? And that was simply just, having a halfway decent season, having a positive over 500 season, even possibly making the playoffs. Russell Wilson getting in that, MVP-esque, Super Bowl time-esque quarterback. Are we going to see that again? It's definitely there's potential, as goofy as he has been and stuff like that. Tim Patrick unfortunately has already gone down with an ACL injury, but there's other options. There's still some other, Cortland Sutton still decent. Some pretty solid options on the team. I think they can be halfway decent, definitely be contenders, and maybe, arguably, I'm gonna just, again, spoiler, probably gonna end up giving the Chiefs the division, but the Broncos can sneak in and definitely get a wild card spot depending on what they do this year. I'm not gonna
no Chargers.
Yeah, no, I'm not. They're it's gonna be neck and neck. It's definitely gonna be 1A, 1B, right? Or I mean 2A, 2B right there, I suppose.
Sox win.
Hey, really? No,
Yeah.
no effing way. I was avoiding the game because I didn't want to be upset. I was just avoiding
Luis Robert hit a homer in the bottom of the top of the seventh, and they just scored another one in the ninth.
Love hearing that. Hey, like I said, we're just playing spoiler at the White Sox are just playing spoiler at this point. It's all that they can do, trying to keep the North Siders out of the playoffs. With that, they'd be, if the Brewers won, they'll be 4.5 games out of the Central, and then a game and a half, 2 games out of the wild card, maybe. Hey, what are you gonna do? I was looking at it again. I'm going off schedule, but the Cubs have a really easy, light, breezy schedule. The Reds and the Brewers pretty tough, so it can flip flop. It's very much it's all in the Cubs' hands right now. What their own destiny, their destiny is in their own hands right now. So hopefully they didn't get too hot too quick. Either way, it's gonna be fun rooting for them to get eliminated during the playoffs or to just not make them at all. So it'll be fun. I won't mind.
Sorry to flip it to baseball real fast that.
I mean, I don't care. Like I said, pretend like they're gonna actually have a chance against the Astros or a real fucking team.
Like,
no way.
Yeah, if they had to play a team like that, yeah.
Sorry. Either way, back to a regular scheduled program of football. Broncos, I think there's definitely the chance to them to make at least half of what their expectations were, potentially playoff spot, but we'll get to that a little bit more. Any thoughts on the Broncos?
I mean, they were god awful last year, so
but that defense kept them in games. It was that ongoing stat that if they just averaged like 16.5 points, 17 points, they would have won they would actually been over 500. I think they would have won 11 games.
Wow.
But that was that defense kept them in those games. That offense was just so fucking pitiful. They couldn't keep up. They couldn't do anything. That's why there's hope.
It was horrible watching that offense last year. It was like whenever they would show them, or I would see a clip or anything, it was just god awful. Terrible all around. There's no way they'd do that twice. So I don't
mean,
know how good they'll be this year, but they can't be that bad
other
again.
than the Packers, for me, that was the only other team that I would openly groan at whenever they would be on my TV. Like, oh, Jesus, these guys, why are you even showing me this? Oh, just because a ball was thrown into the ground and on an open play? That makes sense.
I remember there was a Thursday night game last year, I think, where the Broncos were on, and I remember it was just so bad. I forget which game it was, but just horrible.
Wasn't it like the Broncos and the Titans or something disgusting?
Yeah,
And the over-under was at like 32.5, something ridiculously low, and it still hit the under. It was like 10-2 or something stupid.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
wouldn't doubt
bad.
it.
I can't. Yeah, we have to pull it up, but it was awful,
Just
very
horrible
low
team.
scoring games. Very. So as long as the offense can figure it out, some way, somehow, Russell Wilson can pull his head out of his ass in any sort of way. Then they'll be winning in the Mile High City. Chargers. I have Herbert MVP season? Question mark. Is this when he? I mean, for some, I guess it was an underperforming way. He got injured. I think he broke his ribs very early on in the season last year.
God. Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, dealing with that all season long, that probably for sure didn't really fully heal at any point in time. And whenever you have broken ribs, it hurts to breathe. It hurts to do anything at all. So, again, not having enough time. It's just like, oh, I'll just put a flak jacket on. Like, yeah, that's not really protection. So,
oh my,
is it? I think it's time. Not again. He's gonna have a humongous leash. He's gonna be their QB for the entire season. But can he take that extra step and be in the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow level where he's like, oh yeah, like welcome to the MVP table, and now we can start talking about this, and maybe potentially he has enough numbers, has enough passing yards and touchdowns. So it's just like it's an actual competition. And it's not just like, here you go, Mr. Mahomes, another MVP for your trophy or for your trophy room. So I think there's potential, and if that happens, that's when again, a full season, tons of stuff can happen. One thing leads to another, and one person falls unhealthy, or you just catch two early division games and something like that. Chargers can find themselves at the top of this division as well. I mean, it's very, very up in the air.
Oh, 100%.
At least between these three. Obviously, again, we'll get to the Raiders right this second, but the Raiders, in my mind, not much potential. So I mean, this is not a dog. It's a close race for second, at least for a wild card spot for sure. I think you'll get at least two teams from this division in the playoffs. Not a bold prediction by any means, but it's going to be a fight. It could be maybe three. I don't know. We'll see. Any opening thoughts on the Chargers? Anything just maybe to piggyback off of my Justin Herbert comments?
Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert, I think, has been an elite quarterback, but he's just never had that type of season just yet. It's always been something that's put him, like you said, his ribs, or there's just always been something I feel like that hasn't.
Yeah, maybe poor play calling, head coaching situation. But I mean, the talent on the roster is off the charts. I mean, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, now Quentin Johnston, like we just threw in there earlier. Solid weapons to throw to.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, these three teams, Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers, have like all the pieces that they need to succeed on offense and defense. And we'll talk about the Raiders, but the Chargers. What was I about to say? I mean, Justin Herbert, I think he could for sure have an MVP season this year. I mean, I thought he might last season, but yeah, the whole situation fucked him up. But yeah, they have great receivers. Austin Eckler's great. We all know that. He's this go-to guy. And yeah, I mean, it's hard for him because you're getting outshined by a guy like when you're in a division with a guy like Patrick Mahomes, you're just not getting talked about as much as you should be because everyone's talking about him. So you've got to step up. and you got to beat Mahomes, which is the main thing. I
And
mean,
even if you do, if the Sports Center highlight isn't going to be the Chargers won, that no, it's me. How did the Chiefs lose to the Chargers? We'll find out later in the site. It's like, what? Why give the
yeah,
Chargers the credit? Like, what? They do that all the I mean, they'll do that with anybody. If the Cowboys lose, if when the Lakers lose, it's like, how is LeBron James losing these games? This, that, and the other. It's like, it's no. How is the Sacramento Kings this good? Like, how are
yeah,
the
like, is it LeBron to blame for
Yeah,
what? Like,
exactly. Like,
no.
no. Like, you're always focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. When I guess older brother, big brother is always he's gonna Patrick Mahomes in this case is gonna get all the shine and all the praise. And Justin Herbert's gonna have to work that much harder. Again, looking through odds and everything from yesterday and earlier this morning, I think Herbert's actually second behind Mahomes
Wow.
to have the most passing yards this year. So there's potential. There's definitely potential for him to step up and have a pretty, just again, throw his name into the hat, throw his name into the ring of, hey, I'm here. And not only that, if they have an 11-12 win season and become number one in that division, definitely makes a pretty good argument for yourself right there.
Oh yeah.
Finally, unfortunately, like we mentioned, the Raiders, simply for me, can they just not implode like the submarine from earlier this year? I don't remember what it was called, but
Ocean Gate.
yeah, the Ocean Gate situation. I think that's just what it's simply going to be. I don't think they're asking much from Jimmy Garoppolo other than to look good and then to just throw some passes to Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, I think hopefully he can stay healthy. That could be good, nice. But Josh Jacobs, I'm pretty sure isn't he still holding out? Haven't really heard much about that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's issue there. I don't know. It was, big preseason win, like we mentioned, 34, 37 to not to 37 to 34 to 7, but I don't know. It was just your B squad coming in. I really, honestly, like I said, I don't really have much hope, promise, or insight on the squad. Like I don't see it. I don't see them going far, especially in this
They're in the
division.
dead zone.
Yeah. And then
I mean, you couldn't be in a worse division. I mean, like competition wise, like you just have no chance against the Chiefs. Like you're not, they aren't beating the Chiefs or the
good for
Chargers.
Derek Carr to get out while he could. I mean, I talked a little bad about him in when we did our NFC South preview, but he's got a way better chance to do something and do well on the Saints and actually potentially win that division. And instead of being in this one, maybe, like I said, maybe take a bow out. But again, when you have no chance, might as well do something where you have a shot. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they downgraded and quarterback the Raiders. So
from Carr to Garoppolo, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big time, yeah. He's definitely like I said, he's bus driver material. He's just he's just there to kind of just. I don't think he does anything exponentially better than anybody else, really. Like he doesn't stand out in really anything.
And he was just on a star-studded cast on the 49ers. And it was just like get the ball to George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk.
I mean, Bill and I used to argue, like we used to joke all the time, like if we could have played quarterback for the 49ers when get us out there and I could pitch the ball to Christian McCaffrey and get 49 yards for a touchdown. Yeah, that was all me. Yeah, exactly. Like between that line, that was whatever. We're getting off tangent again, but yeah, I don't see I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo putting the Raiders on his back and taking them very far in any sort of way.
No,
doesn't seem like the case.
I don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah, definitely not. Like I said, notable games from the schedule from all four of these squads. Again, you could probably argue any one of the Chiefs games, obviously. Any one of the divisional games. I would argue even in the Raiders games. But for sure, if you're looking on the Chiefs side of things, the first 4 weeks are without a doubt they're gonna be bangers. Again, maybe a little biased, but they play the Lions week 1, the Jags, the Bears, and then the Jets come week 4. 4 big games for the
first month.
Oh yeah. They also get an international game against the Dolphins. I forgot which one. They're probably in Germany.
Their schedule is like literally every team they play is good as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens.
Other than the Packers, probably. It's
Yeah.
like the one team in the schedule, the Packers and the Patriots that are like.
Yeah, for the most part, I got a lot of Chiefs games on here. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, half that more than just about half their schedule here. I mean, again, like I said, more than half their schedule if you want to count all the divisional games too. Like I said, they get a Super Bowl rematch, Chiefs Eagles later on down the line. We get Bills Chiefs, and then Bengals Chiefs again. Like all potentially AFC.
Gosh.
Those two right there potentially AFC Championship game previews right there. Also,
such a fun. If you're a Chiefs fan, wow, that's a fun little season right there.
Absolutely. Let's see. Chargers wise, a couple of games here. Chargers Cowboys Monday Night Football seems pretty cool. Chargers Jets also gets involved. A Sunday night game, Ravens Chargers, and then Saturday game, Bills Chargers. That again on a Saturday night. Also thought you just gotta show a little bit of love. Broncos Jets, excuse me. And then Raiders Packers, like I mentioned before, a Devontae Adams revenge game.
He's gonna cook us up for sure.
I think they played before, but if not, it's another revenge
or
game.
Or Hire Alexander will lock him down.
That'll be fun to see. That would actually be pretty cool to see.
So just one thing I want to say real fast with this
sure.
Chiefs schedule. I just can't if this was who I had to play, the Packers were playing, I would be like, we're fucked. Like, it's just must be nice to have a team like this where you can be like, bring it on. Like, we can still get so many wins this year and play against all these good teams. Like, it's just awesome.
Oh yeah. Again, we'll get to the over-under preview, but I'm pretty sure their over is still minus money. I think why is it not right in front of me right now? Yeah. Wow. Over 11.5 games is minus 140. With that tough ass schedule too.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
We can breeze through the ad drops for the Chiefs, adding Richie James. They re-signed Jerick McKinnon. However, they lost Orlando Brown Jr. to free agency. He signed with the Bengals over this past offseason.
Betrayed them.
Betrayal. Again, might see him later on down the line. Oh, I mean, they will. They're playing them later in the actual regular season. The Broncos losing Tim Patrick, not in any sort of way, but losing him to injury and ACL tear on very unfortunate.
Back-to-back off seasons.
Yeah, they were looking forward to him actually having a pretty solid season. Very, very speedy, quick, very fast guy. Add former Chief Frank Clark to the defensive side, adding former Bengal Samaje Perine to the halfbacks, and then Ben DiNucci, add him to the quarterback room, and but we had to waive Brent McManus.
Wait, Frank Clark is on the Broncos now?
Yeah, but
Holy.
Ben DiNucci is on the Broncos. Did you not hear my song and dance?
I heard XFL legend. I heard it.
Yes. Yeah, no, Frank Clark added to the Broncos side of things. Again, just huge. That's a huge part of their defense. But had to waive Brandon McManus, one of their big kickers. Chargers drafting Quentin Johnston. I'm going to keep saying that as much as I can because that's my brother. After a trade request, Eckler stays with the team and agrees to a 1-year extension. As far as transactions go, that was basically it. I couldn't really find a big ad other than that or a drop. So there you go. Raiders side of things, losing Derek Carr, like we made mention earlier, as well as adding Jimmy Garoppolo, adding Jacoby Myers, former Patriot, signing Damian Williams as well, just in case Josh Jacobs continues to hold out. So more on that later on down the line. Any one of those names, anything from that just kind of stick out to you? Anything?
Or the Frank Clark, because that's awesome. I mean, that's a huge piece that the Broncos are going to add to an already star-studded defense.
Absolutely.
So
and he'll know tendencies. He's big veteran presence as well, obviously. So it'd be
That's
nice.
true.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Broncos not steal one, but maybe get the leg up in some sort of way. Maybe take the game at home against them. Always have some sort of advantage. Mile High, obviously that's got the altitude on their side.
Mm-hmm.
MVP odds, obviously, just gonna hit the quarterbacks. Those were the big ones. Patrick Mahomes is number one favorite according to the. I mean, again, my bit.ly/no sub bets. That's set up for Bet Rivers, but wanted to give you the best odds. Wanted to give you as good all the good odds and everything on everything. So looked it up on DraftKings. You're gonna get plus 700 for Patrick Mahomes, plus 1,200 for Justin Herbert. That's fifth favorite. 4,500 for Russell, plus 4,500 for Russell Wilson. That is 15th favorite. And then plus 8,000 for Jimmy Garoppolo, 26th favorite. And that again is, of course, behind Jordan Love, who's at plus 6,000. So
Wow.
I'm just gonna keep throwing that in there.
More
anything, any one of those guys. I mean, obviously, you can go with the chalky chalk and go Patrick Mahomes once again, but any one of those.
Herbert.
Herbert at plus 1,200 is probably, yeah. I would have said it if you didn't already get that feeling from my question earlier. Yeah, I probably would have went with Herbert as my flyer as well. But I mean, Wilson.
Maybe if I'm feeling unlimited.
If I am feeling
that day,
unlimited,
I don't
yeah,
know.
just that particular day.
Yeah, if I decide to bet, I don't know. We care a lot.
If I'm eating my Subway sandwich and if I pull up at the right time, I think that's a sponsor too, right? Yeah,
I think so.
we care a lot. What was it like? Bible, football, and faith, football, and family. That's what.
Yeah, it's like faith, football, and family.
We care a lot. Oh gosh,
Oh
love
my
it.
god. Love Russell Wilson. I love how cringe he is. Can't beat
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just good for the soul, just to laugh at, just to get it out. Let's see. Team total wins, overs, and unders. I'll start off with the Chiefs. Already kind of previewed it anyway. 11.5 over. Over is 140 minus 140. Under plus 120. Again, unless something catastrophic happens, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, if this, if that, they got tough games. They're the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. Still has Travis Kelce. The defense is what it is. Andy Reid's a phenomenal coach. I'm not going to take the under and clinch my asshole every single week. I'm going to take the over and live with it. Like that would just be it. So again, call me stupid or naive. I'm just gonna go with the Chiefs, take the chalk and roll on with my day.
Praying that the Chiefs lose. Like, good luck.
Yeah, it's like it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna hope and pray that Floyd Mayweather gets knocked out. Like, no, it's not gonna fucking happen. Or like, yeah, I can't wait for one of these Paul brothers to get theirs. Like, no, it's no, stop betting that. Don't do that.
Yeah, they're gonna just keep fighting no-name boxers.
Yeah.
So
so again, I think we're on the same page there. Chiefs will go over on there, so we can actually enjoy Sundays and primetime games. Let's see. Chargers, I got a 9.5. Over is minus 120. Under is plus 100.
over.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go over. I would go over as well. Similar again, if I'm going with the same narrative from throwing out the questions and everything I just said earlier. If I think Justin Herbert's gonna have an MVP caliber year, he's gonna have to hit the over on this and get into some sort of playoff contention. So, sure enough, got some tough games, but definitely winnable on a lot of them. They play the NFC North, so it's definitely some winnable games there.
Yeah.
I'm not just taking jabs at the Packers there. Taking
No,
jabs
I know.
taking jabs at the Lions and the Vikings there for sure, because the Bears are going to take care of everything. But like I said, Chargers most likely going to get there. I would think they're going to get their win total right there, minus 120. Do the same thing. I'll rather enjoy my time. You were on the same page, over 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. There might be some games that you're not going to just hand right to the Chargers and say for sure, but they're going to have to earn their games. But like I said earlier, all the talent that's on there shouldn't be too much of a sweat every single week. Let's see here. Broncos over-unders at 8.5, but it's an even -120 on both sides. Uh,
Under.
you're going under. This one I might have to take a quick little gather. Oh, geez, this is gonna be rough.
For the sake, I'm gonna go under for the next two because I
Oh
just feel
yeah.
like Chiefs and Chargers will hit their overs.
Oh, I mean, yeah, without a doubt. Raiders under it's
Even
under
yeah, they're
6.5.
6, but still, I don't think they'll get 7
Yeah, like I
wins.
said, if I'm going with the same narrative of like, yeah, they have to implode. They're not going to win 6. They might not even win 5 games, something like that. So, Broncos, let me see. Raiders, Commanders, Dolphins, and Bears in the first 4. They can go 2. I'll say they go 2-2. They lose to the Jets 2-3. Maybe they steal one against the Chiefs, but not that early. They're 2-4, 3-4, 4-4, 4-5. The Vikings Broncos, that could be close, but that's a home game. I'll give it to the Broncos. That's 5-4, 5-5 against the Browns. We'll beat the Texans though, 6-5. Oh man, they might be right at their win total.
They need
6
9
and
wins.
7. Yeah, 6-7, 6-8, 7-8, 7-9, 8-9. I have them at 8-9. So under. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you with under on the Broncos. Yeah, I mean they have a couple. I mean the only toss ups in my mind maybe the divisional matchups just because they have the altitude advantage somewhat, but toss up in the Vikings game potentially, toss up in the Browns game potentially, and then the last 3, Patriots they could beat them, but they could be the Broncos of last year and then just get them implode.
Yeah,
Chargers and then the Raiders, same thing. Last game of the season. Cool. They're similar to the Packers and the Bears that they open with the Raiders the same week and then they close with the Raiders in the last week of the season. So
that's true. Yeah.
fun. So yeah, over on the Chiefs, over on the Chargers, under on the Broncos, under on the Raiders. I think we're both in agreement on all those
I am. Yeah.
for very similar reasons. Yeah. Division winners -165 for the Chiefs, +340 for the Chargers, +550 for the Broncos, and +1200 for the Raiders. Again, I mean, if you're if you're feeling dangerous or whatever, like whatever Russell Wilson said, you can take +550. But the flyer, the smart flyer, I suppose, would be the Chargers. But gun to my head, have to put on a bet. Give me the Chargers -165. I'll have to eat the discount or the money and whatnot.
The
But
Chiefs, you mean?
what did I say? The chart.
Chargers. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
I get what you mean.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
flyer on the Chargers at +340. If gun to my head, have to take a bet. Chiefs at
Okay.
-165. Want to clarify that up? Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then one final prop on each one of these teams. I thought I wrote down another one, but I guess I just simply have +600 for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. So there you go. There were other things like I also looked around. Patrick Mahomes also is favored to lead the league in receiving yard or and throwing yard passing yards. Excuse me, most likely in passing touchdowns as well. I think he'll probably hit the over on his stats. So there you go. Maybe just take that.
Also, just a quick fun stat for you: the Chiefs have been the division winners since 2016. So
That's nice. That's nice. No, it's not. That's consistency. That's awesome. And again, -165. Maybe just that's good enough price to maybe potentially throw them in one of those division parlays, depending on if those are allowed on your sportsbook app. Let's see. Broncos wise, if you think they can turn it around, I think the only thing I have. Oh no, I have another one for Russell Wilson. But if you think they can turn it around, +180 for them to make the playoffs is pretty. I mean, if you get a plus sign right there, pretty decent.
well,
Like I
Gracie
said,
there.
it's tough. There's a lot of toss-up games, but if they look as good as they should be, maybe you get a more wins out of there than we predicted. So there you go again, just some Momo. But I'll also I'll throw it out there as well. 24.5 passing touchdowns at -120 for Russell Wilson. That's what it's going to take, him throwing a lot of touchdowns for them to do well. So again, if you're going with that idea that they're going to do well, that he's going to be that the Broncos are going to make the playoffs, maybe just take that. I don't know. Let's see. If you go under the futures tab for the Chargers and then go to the playoff parlays, you can select the Chiefs and the Chargers both to make the playoffs at +100. I thought that was a pretty cool little fun little parlay thing they have. Play again. That's if you go on this is on the DraftKings app. So again, shout out to them. Under the futures tab, playoff parlays. I have Chiefs and Chargers to both make the playoffs at +100, and the rest of them are they're all for my brother, for Quentin Johnston, offensive rookie of the year at +2200. And if it's available on whatever you got, take the over on his yardage, take the over on his touchdowns, maybe sprinkle a little bit on him to lead the league in receiving at +10,000.
Jesus,
why not? Why
would it be better than Justin Jefferson?
Who knows him better than his own flesh and blood? I know he can do this. I trust him. I wouldn't say it otherwise.
I hope you pick him in the first round then in fantasy.
I might have to. Maybe we'll see. I don't have my fingers crossed underneath this desk. We'll see what happens. Raiders, the only one I had. I gotta advise money wise. So just you do as you want. Do it as you will.
Stay away.
I try to stay away, but just for the sake of just having one, I have Devontae Adams to lead the league in receiving touchdowns. He did it last year. It's +1400. He had 14 last year and led the league. He is currently the 6th favorite. Just for the sake of having one, it's out there for just having one prop wise for the teams, but I wouldn't highly advise it just because, again, Garoppolo is there. But Adams, if they do get down to the red zone, one of the better targets to have down there. So, so I think there's potential. So again, don't throw the whole bankroll on it. Don't throw the kids' college fund on it. You got a $5 on you that you don't care about. If you're trying to get off the pack of cigarettes, and you're like, I'll just put my 10 on something else. Something like that. There you go. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. Any final thoughts, questions, concerns about the AFC West before I hold on and we can prepare for our next division?
No, yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything there.
So yes, we did.
That should be a fun division to keep an eye on throughout the year.
Oh, without a doubt. Like I said, I think just about every single game in their division and every single Chiefs game, no matter what, even if they play the Titans, it's going to be must-watch television.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we have 3 more divisions left. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and make a deal.
Rolling through these.
Yeah, one per week with I guess exactly 3 more weeks till regular season. So that's what we'll be doing. And we'll be finishing the NFC side, from the AFC West to the NFC West. That's what we'll be talking about next. So the Niners, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and I always forget about the last team. Why do I
Rams.
The Rams. Yes, you are correct. The Los Angeles Rams. Yes. Not the worst, not the best. Definitely some fun things to consider there. Some underdog squads and some good matches.
What a cakewalk. Just real quick first thoughts. What a cakewalk for the 49ers to win this division.
I think so. You might think that. I think the Seattle Seahawks might have something to beg to differ. But again, we'll get to that later on down the line.
Stay tuned.
Because we know the Cardinals have no shot.
No.
Speaking of which, did you see Kyler Murray in his little bra? And then they come.
I did, yeah.
Poor guy.
I don't know what that is.
They throw it up and compare him to
the guy from the scary movie I saw.
Tracy Morgan. From goddamn. From The Longest Yard. Oh man. They cooked him up. Oh, did you see something different?
I saw from the movie Scary Movie.
Oh
The
yeah, he
guy.
did. Yeah, they did that too.
Oh,
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I saw no, the one I saw
but
was the
that was
Tracy
good.
Morgan
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I saw Tracy Morgan from the longest yard compared, and I was like, oh yeah, get cooked.
Oh
So I
man,
think that
just
wraps up
not good.
NFL. That about does it there. I got a quick NBA, and then we can finish up with the MLB and wrestling. We've got a couple more minutes. I don't want to go too long tonight. I got a long day, had a long night. We
Yeah.
gotta watch some stuff. Uh, just thoughts on James Harden, basically just solidifying that he's not going to get traded. Anything on there? Him denouncing, he's like, well, basically, I won't play. I won't do anything for a Daryl Morey ran franchise. Any thoughts,
Yeah.
questions, concerns?
Yeah. He just said Daryl Morey is a liar and I will never be part of an organization that he's a part of. And then yeah, he reiterated it and said he is a liar and I will never be a part of an organization he's a
The
part of.
thunderous applause in China, by the way.
So I mean, so he doesn't want to get traded, but he's on that team, right? So why? I don't
No, he
understand.
wants to get traded, but his trade stock is completely plummeted because they have no leverage. He has nothing. They have nothing to give off of, and
Huh?
apparently, what the report was, I guess, similar to the Damian Lillard thing with Miami, like the trades, what's being proposed isn't good enough on either side. So it's a mess. I don't know if we're gonna get a held out James Harden for the rest of the season, but I guess I'm gonna have to agree with
Yeah.
a couple of the posts that I saw online. It's just like I couldn't of all the guys, I couldn't think that he was gonna be like the least successful or the most diva-ish from this original OKC four. I'm like, Serge Ibaka has a ring, Kevin Durant has two, Westbrook has at least that triple double scoring title or whatever. So
Hmm.
as far as James Harden legacy goes down, he's going to be the guy that complained and bitched the most, but could have had the most talent. Honestly, it's kind of it's a shame. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to sit here and harp on it either which way, but he has his right as a player to not want to play for a certain individual or franchise, play where you want to play. But again, at a certain point not shut up and play, but you gotta like, how do you? It always seems to be you is the issue. I don't know. I guess maybe
It's
some.
always in his idea. It's always the ones around him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I would think so, and I don't know if this also comes into play too, but Joel Embiid, I guess he took all of his like 76er stuff, all of his off of his social media. So I don't know if that is a factor. That's just something I heard in passing. I could also be wrong on it too. So I don't
he
know.
needs to look in the mirror. I mean, he's played with Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Kyrie Irving. I mean, when is it? I'm the problem.
You just named rattled off all those names. That's crazy, and he was just never he was just never able to get it done. Like that's bonkos. Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
shame.
he probably even throw like Chris Paul in there too, because I think he was with them on the Rockets. And then there was
Hmm.
also that report that the Rockets didn't want him back because they felt like this young regime is going to be better. They didn't want not his toxicity, but just they didn't want him back in this way. I don't know. It was whole
Not
sort of.
encouraging.
No, definitely not. So this is a whole bag of worms. I'm sure the right price will get it figured out, but I don't know what this whole situation is going to be. I'm not rooting for either which way. I'm always rooting to see good basketball at the end of the day. So if the talent is still there, let them play, get them out there, try and make them as happy as possible. But at the end of the day, you got to play for whoever's writing your paycheck. So
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
I
know.
hate the divas. I just hate that with these pro athletes. Like you make millions of dollars. Like I don't know what could be possibly be going on behind the scenes, but it's like get on the fucking court and
And it
play,
can't. It's
man.
not. It shouldn't be like a question of like, oh, like they're not in like a dumpster fire. Like there's tons of talent on the 76ers. Like obviously
Yeah.
Joel Embiid just arguably, I said it should have went Jokic's way, but just had an MVP season in Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey has talked about how he could potentially go from just being the star, the young rising star that he is, to a potential superstar by the end of this year. So there's talent on this squad. So
Yeah, and
I
basketball's
don't
the
know.
kind of sport where literally one person can make a difference. Like if he just like went all in and gave this team everything he has, he could legitimately make a difference to this team. But
Yeah.
it's just like this doesn't help in any
It's
way.
it's definitely a shame. Yeah, it's very frustrating. I can only you feel bad for for the 76ers fans in that sense. Yeah. But beyond that, they still have to probably deal with Ben Simmons in some sort of way. So that's always a tough look too. Final thoughts NBA wise, there's probably a couple other things, but I mean, just seeing it's still summertime, not really much going on until the season really begins. So
Yeah.
yeah. Unless another big trade happens and another big free agency move happens or something with the Bulls, not really much going to be taken on there.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Onward and gonna, like I said, gonna be finishing up with some MLB and some wrestling. Finally, like I mentioned at the top, White Sox aren't the biggest laughing stock under the microscope this week. It is the ongoing. Oh, we can also talk about the
Well,
Crosstown Classic. No, that's fine. You can keep that up. Good that they won. Glad that they can do that. Like I said, at this point, Sock can just play spoiler and just do tryouts with Tuki Toussaint and uh that Justin Schulten's guy from the other night. Like you said, it was tough that he gets the loss, but not very good. That it is also a question of like, can he go and see the lineup 3 different times? Just so happens that that one guy got him that one time. Unfortunate, but there'll be other opportunities for him. So, like I said, us White Sox fans aren't in shambles. We can still divert and live around this. It's okay. There's life beyond baseball. Breathe. Like I said, we're not. That was my only thing. I'll keep harping on that. It was just the internet just piles on all at once because everyone's very unoriginal. They just take and steal from everybody. So it's just one thought and everyone just regurgitating everybody else's thought and throwing it up on something else. So if one person thinks it's funny, and it is for the most part, it is. I'm not arguing that we aren't. The White Sox aren't some sort of dumpster fire, that there's no leadership or anything or course. But maybe this kind of leads into our next story, the top of the list or top of the story. If the worst thing that the White Sox did as an organization, as a franchise, is not write down some nobody reliever by Kenyon Middleton, who's going to be out of the league and probably in 2 seasons. If at the end of the day, if that's the worst thing the White Sox did is didn't put up some guy's name on the jumbotron, if that's the worst thing that the franchise has done, I can live with that. It's not like
I thought that was funny.
yeah. Again, that's fine. Fuck them. If you're gonna talk shit, if you're gonna spill the beans, you deserve all these flowers and all these accolades when you get back. I'm glad you. No, I'm not gonna say I'm glad, but it's unfortunate that your children were kicked. I guess were kicked out of the daycare. Just when millionaires are complaining about stuff like that, I don't know, puts a sour taste in some people's mouths like myself. But you're not entitled to the White Sox daycare when you're not on the White Sox. I don't know. That makes sense to me. Maybe it just doesn't make sense to you because you're always entitled to stuff. I don't know. That's just me. But overall, if the worst thing that the White Sox did is not show some guy's name on the jumbotron, I can live with that. At least they're not harboring potential pedophiles and potential not just this guy and Wander Franco, but there's also people individuals that hit women on the same team or just on other teams in general. If at the end of the day the White Sox just have a guy in Tim Anderson who just runs his mouth, okay, I can live with that. But to have this on your squad, and again, it shouldn't. I'm not going to shun and say any blame, and this shouldn't be a black eye on the entire Tampa Bay Rays organization. Sometimes there's just bad apples that show up, and this happens. And if you're living under a rock, if you don't already know, his story is pertaining to Wander Franco, Potentially, he's under investigation, so no certainties, but currently under investigation for potentially having a relationship with a minor, potentially as young as 14 years old in this case. And if you're like, oh, where's the proof? Where's this, that, and the other? Check the internet, dude. There's a lot of pictures going around of him actually kissing this young girl. So take the time, do what you can. It's not just, hey, butt crack sports let out that this could be happening. No, it was all over the place, and for good reason. So I want, like I said, I wanted to open up and maybe start off weird with the way that I'm just maybe sticking up for the White Sox in this case, but I just want to show to everybody that like it could have been worse on the White Sox side. That's all I want. That was my whole point from that. Hopefully, like I said, that's gonna get lost in translation for sure. But this is potentially awful and weird, and for the sake of just not wanting this to be true and because it's just so disgusting. I hope Wander Franco didn't do this. I hope it's not true. I hope he's found innocent and whatnot. Of course, on this side, innocent until proven guilty. So it's all that. But again, if it does come down that there is some sort of actual relationship with this 14-year-old, I can only imagine that his career's over. Like there's no way you come back from this in any sort of way. So again, if that's controversial to say, I can live with that. But that there's no turning back if anything comes back for certain that he had this relationship with this young gal. So
100%.
yeah, that again, I'm not gonna. I don't want to sit here and joke about it any farther than just it could have been worse on the White Sox side of things. That's all I want to say on that. But again, this is awful. If this comes up true, you hope for again not just to if it is true, you just completely blackballed. No way in no shape or form should be back in the league in any sort of way. Wouldn't even want him to be in like the Savannah Bananas banana ball or any sort of way like that. But again, just it's disgusting. It's a disgusting thought in any sort of way. It's I mean, if I don't have any sisters in any sort of way, and I can only imagine when people have daughters and just the whole thought about that. So I'll leave it at that. It's very upsetting to think about, of course. So Wander Franco.
I'm just my thoughts are with you. That's just horrible situation.
Yeah, like I said, don't want to. Yeah, it's not light, so I don't want to joke on it any more than I already kind of did. So if you want to, shame on me, whatever. But it is I understand the seriousness of the situation, so I just wanted to also get that out. Again, it's just under investigation until something else pops up. Probably won't bring it up again. So I probably won't even hear me again until between now and Friday, unless something else pops up. I probably won't bring it up on that show either. So there you go. I mean, they're really looking to do it. He's on the restricted list, and you're only on that. You're only going to be away from the team unless there's some big investigation like this. So yeah, look into that. I can go on the lighter side of things. I already kind of talked about the Kenyon Middleton, kind of mixed that in together with my Wander Franco talk. But on the lighter side of news, on the lighter side of White Sox news in general, A's and the White Sox might be setting up for a reverse boycott, similar to what they already did in Oakland earlier this year. I think this might be during the series that you guys are going to, so might be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what day exactly, so maybe look into it. I would think similar things. They're going to be screaming "sell the team" at the top of the inning and stay in Oakland. But I
You
guess
know when they're planning to do that?
It's definitely whenever the A's are in town against the White Sox. So it's the end of August, the 25th, 26th, 27th, I believe. There's something like that.
Yeah, I think we'll be at one of those games.
So most likely, yeah, if it is officially going around, I think it's for sure set up for one of those games, and it's most likely going to be the similar things where top of the inning you're screaming "sell the team" for both sides, and then most likely for the bottom of the innings stay in Oakland just for Oakland. But at the top of the fifth, they stayed completely quiet during the first at bat, the entire at bat. So I think that's going to be very creepy to hear 40,000 people be quiet all at the same time. Oh, that'd be so weird. So hopefully, I'm fine with it either way because it can work for both teams. They want obviously the ship has sailed for Oakland. It's already signed, sealed, and delivered that they're going to Las Vegas. But White Sox fans, make some noise. Tell Reinsdorf to sell the team. It's not going to happen, but do what you
At
can.
least we can try.
Yeah, at least you can try. Maybe have a couple beers with the squad. Do what you can. Fine. Also on the White Sox sides of things, they're actually, I don't know if the trailer dropped. I don't know if you saw it. They're putting together a little hip hop documentary, basically how their apparel, how their hat. Of course, I'm not wearing the White Sox hat of all days. I'm wearing my Mountain Dew crown. Wearing how the White Sox hat, jerseys, and everything played into hip hop, how you always saw it in rap music videos, especially like NWA. I think Ice Cube is one of the big talking heads during this entire documentary. So really cool. I don't know how long it'll be, probably like 30 minutes to an hour, but it's still interesting. Like I said, it's not going to sit there and not going to break their arm, patting themselves on the back, so, but still a pretty intriguing story how it was mostly I kind of know the reason, just because it was black. Like they would wear Oakland Raiders hats and jerseys because it was dark. It was dark clothing, and same thing because it was a White Sox hat. It was black, so I mean, it made sense. It was it was mostly their style and what they wore, and it went well. And I mean, they rocked it. They looked good in it. So there you go. And like I said, it was a landmark, or like not a landmark, but basically like a mainstay in every one of those in rap video and rap culture. So pretty cool that they can take the time and just like make mention of that. So I acknowledge all that. So I'll definitely take the time and watch it. So wish I had the detail of when it dropped or the name of it off the top of my head, but I did not prepare that. So either way, I mean, of course, being White Sox fans, you're gonna be checking that one out there, Mikey Gay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know about that, so that's interesting for
There
sure.
you go. More you know. That's why you're on this show. You're always here to. I'm here to tell you, to inform you. Finally, on the MLB side of things, then we can breeze through a quick wrestling. Michael Lorenzen threw a no-hitter. Just want to throw out there that's possibly one of the most impressive performances since being traded ever. Like probably, maybe, arguably they've said, one of the best trades of all time. You could argue that. I think in his first start, he went 8 innings and only allowed 2, and he won that game. Second start, no-hitter. And he did it in Vans, so that no-hitter was off the wall. Awesome to see.
Wow.
The only thing I saw was the 2 days after that, they said he was going to get 8 days of rest, could throw off his rhythm, or it might not. He could maybe just deserve the rest because he threw 124 pitches in that no-hitter.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's almost college like numbers when they're just up there like, you're gonna blow your arm out, we don't give a fuck. So Michael Lorenzen, shout out to him. I mean, the Phillies did it last year at one of the better trade deadlines, one of the most underrated trade, one of the more underrated trade deadlines, and led to them getting a World Series berth. And then, sure enough, finding a guy in Detroit very low and under the radar, and it comes out has 2 solid performances. So, Michael Lorenzen, shout out to the no-hitter, shout out to the Phillies. They're also could potentially get in that wild card hunt.
Oh
Any
yeah.
final thoughts in the MLB before we head on in and finish up with the wrestling?
I'm all good on the MLB side of things.
Cool. Again, for the sake of time, gonna cut our debate, but I'm not gonna tease you anymore. I'll simply just throw it out. Do you like it? It was basically, my question was the current display of shows, how it's all light brights and colors and everything's is out there, and they have to show the light on the crowd for that one thing to be displayed all nice, or in my personal opinion, but I know it's gonna be way not popular.
I want the crowd dark.
I want the crowd dark as well. I want no lights on the fans. I want the spotlight solely on the ring, similar to how they have it at house shows. I think it would be more intriguing. It would maybe less encourage all the fan signage and everyone trying to be a mark for themselves in the fans. You can argue either which way, but I think if you really want to make the wrestling special, make it a spotlight on the ring. Is that how you're feeling?
Yeah, I was just thinking that they've done that before sometimes, just for certain things they turn the lights off, and yeah, it's very cool. I like that a lot.
Like those
So
House of Black rules when they would put the spotlight on there and make it look, to
yeah,
me, like that, it seemed like intriguing. I liked how that looked. I can understand for some that could be a little frustrating and annoying how it looks, but I liked that. And again, almost similar to, I have never been, but for Madison Square Garden for basketball games, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Like the spotlight is just on the court for the game. It's not like the crowd beyond the courtside seats really aren't lit up. Like nothing's really lit up and seen. So I just thought that would be really something cool. Maybe something to debate in the comments. Throw that in the comments section if hopefully you made it this far. So join us
we can
in on
definitely
that.
talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Full gear date and location leaked November 18th. Finally, an LA show, so all those March can stop crying about getting Chicago shows. Finally in LA. Thoughts? Anything on that?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, 'cause they always complain Chicago gets everything. So yeah, I'm glad they're gonna
There
be
you
over
go.
there.
You get a show. You better not screw it up, LA. Be loud. Get loud. Bring a cool sign. I don't know, like I just said.
Yeah,
Triple
be in
H.
it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Triple H not to be on the board of directors after this Endeavor merger. What's going on there? What are you? I mean, is that going to help, hurt, or not going to be a problem either which way? What do you think?
They're cooked up. I thought I feel like Triple H was one of their best things that they had backstage, and they're just cooking him up. I mean, I don't understand. NXT was great. He did great with NXT, and then now it just doesn't make any sense to me, at least. I don't know. I felt like he was decent at what he was doing, so
Yeah, I mean, personally, we're not going to sit here and say we love the Triple H booking from either side or the hirings on either way, but I can't imagine that there's going to be a board of directors that someone's going to step up and step in that isn't last name isn't McMahon, or I mean isn't like The Rock, or like I don't know, someone that is a smart wrestling mind and that could book wrestling better
yeah.
than, I mean, again, don't, it's not like you could argue maybe could get Booker of the Year over Tony Khan or whatever, but I don't think some suit could just come in and be better than what Triple H has done. Again, I won't stick up for any one of the storylines that have gone on, but yeah, it's tough to imagine that on my end. So bit of an L, but there's potential. So I guess it's not like he's going to be gone entirely. I'm sure he'll still be in some sort of way around, but it's again tough to think that there's going to be someone better. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see who they could replace him with.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if that necessarily takes away his creative, but I don't know. Again, just taking away, power slowly away from Triple H, who's still connected to the McMahons. They're gonna try and get McMahon's away. It's gonna be very Succession like. Again, I'm just wrapped up in Succession, so I'm gonna make all this comparisons to the show.
Love that show right
Oh,
now.
it's great, so great. Halfway through season 3. Finally, like I said, if you go on Triple H, and find that one.
Yeah,
Final
I wish him
story.
the best, man. I mean, what
Yeah.
time to play the fucking game.
Triple H might be liking this story though. CM
Huh.
Punk, the bully, getting some heat. He shot on. If you didn't see the video that went viral after Collision went off air, shooting on Hangman Page, being a peg warmer. He's going to Walmart's and that's all he sees is Hangman and Adam Page toys. Again, just the short version is that CM Punk moves merch. He's this, he's that. Causing a stir, as the story going about was that guys like Ryan Nemeth. I always get it wrong. Is it Nick?
Ryan Nemeth, yeah.
Ryan Nemeth. Okay, Ryan. I always say Nick Nemeth, and like, no, that's Dolph Ziggler. But no, Ryan Nemeth being sent home. Apparently, Christopher Daniels, Matt Hardy. But apparently, again, Pete from PW Insider saying that kind of throwing a monkey wrench in this whole thing, saying, well, actually, Hangman wasn't told to go home over some sort of booking. So there's a whole kerfuffle. We were kind of previewing this right before we got into it, before I hit the record button. So I just want to get what were your initial thoughts from just CM Punk, from this whole story in general? What was your main feeling?
I hate it because it's his second chance. I mean, multiple. He's had so many chances. I mean, I just don't get why you would do this. I don't see the benefit from it at all unless it's to build a storyline, which I don't know if it is. It seems like he just genuinely.
That's the only thing that I was gonna say. If it's potentially leading to a storyline, or if he's just trying to stir the pot and try and make it look like a storyline, but in that again, everyone needs to play ball. And I think it's halfway there, considering FTR and Young Bucks are going to go for sure at Wembley. So is it full go? Is it a work? Are we getting worked, or are they actually ready to play? I don't know. Again, we
I
won't
would hope
officially
that we're
know.
getting worked.
Yeah, I think
I would
so.
hope, because I would like to think CM Punk's not just a dick. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I guess I'm on that same side too, where I'm gonna hope again. I put a lot of already wished up, and I've said it multiple times that yes, like CM Punk is one of my most, like, my favorite singles competitors still going on currently to date. So yeah, I want to be on the side that this is just a work, and that he's trying to build something up potentially for storyline down the line. But then I mean, with a couple people throwing it back at him, but it's kind of, for lack of a better terms, it's just me. Again, it's just me. It's a bunch of no names yelling and complaining about this, like Effie from GCW and Ryan Nemeth from Dark is the loud mouthpiece on this.
No one cares about Ryan Nemeth.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe the being the elite squad does. I get you there, but anywhere else, it's kind of like,
It's
who?
like you're in a
What?
situation with like CM Punk and Ryan Nemeth, and he's like, "Come on, Tony, you really gonna pick him over me?" Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
as
am.
Tony Khan is wearing his CM Punk shirt, he's like, yes, Ryan, I'm sorry. I'll see you. Better luck in your future endeavors.
How's Dolph? Let me know when Dolph's available.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know when WWE's done playing with their food and I can finally have Dolph and I can book him correctly. Hey, yo.
I'd love if he was in AEW. That's just this little side thing, but
Yeah, honestly, he would fit in pretty well. Very, 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 very truthfully. Yeah, just again, hope the rumors and whatever's going around isn't true. That's as far as we can say, obviously, because we're not in the AEW locker room. Them banding together when they were talking smack about, when others were talking smack about the women's division, they all kind of band together and got around this. So it seems like the AEW locker room is pretty tight with one another and can band together. So again, that's kind of points me in the direction that it might be a work. It could also not. But I mean, you made the point that if you are on the elite side of things, uh like they haven't said anything, like they haven't said anything good, bad, or negative, positive, either which way about this. So good on them, if for holding their tongue, or just, like I said, not trying to ruin the build of this. I don't know.
yeah. Which
Class
props to
act.
them.
At the
Yeah.
at the very least, at the very end of things, like class act on their part. So I guess that's about it on that. I suppose. Like I said, just hoping for the best. Hoping for the best on that side. So
Yeah, we
I
don't want
mean,
to see CM Punk leave AW again. So
again, he's heelish, like right now. What is he doing? Stirring the pot. He's getting people booing. He's getting people active. He's getting the Twitter fingers going, X fingers, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he's doing his job as a heel. Well, only time will tell. We're gonna have to just sit and wait on this one. Yeah,
I
it'll have
hope,
to be the
because I
Patriots.
honestly hope it's that, because the dirt sheets, it's always gets everything gets spoiled for us wrestling fans every time. Like everything gets spoiled, and that was like all the dirt sheets were saying like this wasn't a planned promo, this was off the cuff, like
Yeah.
none know about this. So everyone just assumes automatically like, well, yeah, this isn't a storyline. So I mean, yeah, I would like to think that they can maybe even trick people like Dave Meltzer and yeah,
I don't
get
think that honestly, I don't think that takes much. It literally, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, but they're just like he's one of the most
Oh no, he's
like
he has got his
reliable
sources. He always
sources.
knows. He knows who to ask for what. He's got a very tight bond.
But yeah, I would love. I hope that this is all just for show, and that they're an all in fighting at some point. So
It'll be nice. Something we can all just hope on. Either way, I think that's about it for this episode in the books. Check please on episode 31. Thank you as always for tuning in. Thank you, Alan, for taking your notes. I know you got that notebook, Alan. Troy's got a couple of them for you now. Thank you, Troy. He'll be tuning in, of course, as the time, I think, as today or yesterday was 18 days until Kentucky football. So we'll be getting that report very soon. Um, thank you very much for tuning in anywhere, any which way. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow us again here. Like and subscribe. We're also on the Spotify. You can play us back on there. You can rate and follow that too as well. That's always nice. Get us in the algorithms. It's always nice and cool there too.
oh yeah,
Watch me on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy, Friday 1 p.m. We'll be doing recaps and everything else, breaking news from there. If not, take care. We'll see you guys next week. See you guys next time. We'll see you around. Take care. Bye-bye.
out.